When we come back, you want some adventure? Things a little stale in your life, a little slow, want a little pizzazz? That's why we brought in Doug Stoup, a professional adventurer. Look at him. He's got the long hair. He's got the good looks. The only. Hey, Doug. The North Pole 9 times, South Pole 8 times, Antarctica 23 times. Does it ever get old?
No, not at all. It's always an adventure, and I like taking on new projects, whether we're raising money for charity or we're doing science work, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that when we get back.
Wow, Doug doing his own tease into the break. Maybe we'll just have Doug interview himself. Come on back, don't move. His story in a moment. All right, Doug Stoup, born in the East Coast, but in the Truckee, Squaw Valley area, and he is a professional adventurer, and this is part of what he does. I mean, the temperatures must be, got to be, what, 50 degrees below?
Yeah, they can be minus 30 to minus 40. They can be for sure, and you just really have to stay moving all the time.
Well, here's the obvious one. I mean, anybody can just flick on, National Geographic and just watch it, but you're actually doing it. Why? Why would you put yourself through those elements?
Well, I love adventure, and I love being in the wild frontier, and I love challenges and pushing the limits of human endurance.
Am I sitting across some guy that you could easily be like Man versus Wild, right?
I haven't done any TV shows like that before, but it's the real deal, and I love pushing those limits, and I love raising money for charity, as well as taking young people like Parker Leoto, a 16-year-old, went to the North Pole last week with me.
We'll get into him in a second. First, I want to show some video of you actually training, because this is not, you just don't just show up and just, make it in a day. This is your pulling a tire, a couple of kids?
Yeah, these are my boys, and that's part of my training. We need to make sure that we simulate the same activity that we're doing. Because
you're pulling your gear.
About 12 hours a day, so you have to be really fit and ready to go, and it's a lot of hard work, and that's part of it.
Wow, holy smokes. And you had mentioned that, Parker, this is a fellow from Atherton, just last week, you took him to the, and how old was he, 16?
He's 16. We tried last year, and he was 15, and we ran into some really bad weather conditions, really warm temperatures, almost 32 degrees, which is really unheard of in April up on the North Pole, and a lot of open water, and we really put a valid effort in, but we were unable to get there, and so this year he came back, and we were really successful. We actually did it in...
So you lead groups over there, I mean, whether it's North Pole, South Pole, Antarctica, you groups, and they can be as young as Parker, who we're seeing a little bit here in his training, and you're going to be taking another group, what, next January? You're going to start training for that?
Yeah, I think Parker's one of the youngest that's been to the North Pole, but next January I'll be taking 2 handicapped guys in wheelchairs all the way 100 miles to the geographic South Pole. We've already started training and filming, and these type projects I really like enjoying, and I want to put myself in these situations where it's really a challenge.
When you get there, how do you celebrate? I mean, it's not like you can crack open a beer. It'll be freeze before you get it to your lips.
Well, it's really about the camaraderie and the friendships that you make along the way, and it's a high five, and you really bond with these people, and you stay friends with them, and I think the celebration really comes at the other end, on the end of the trips.
Now, I'm looking at these polar bears. You had an encounter with one a few years ago, is that right?
I've had several encounters with some polar bears on a trip from Siberia to the North Pole, and I don't really think that we belong in some of these areas, and it's not a lot of fun to really encounter them because they are hungry. They're really the only mammal that hunts man, and hopefully we don't have to run into them.
Well, stay away from those guys. So we've got your website on our KRON-TV news link, so anybody who wants to tag along with you on your next adventure, they can just pull it right up and get the information. Hey, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks, Murray.
And keep it going.
All right, thanks.
I'll stay warm and watch the highlights of it.
All right.
Doug Stoup, everybody. Have a good night. We'll see you at 10.